Welcome back to my channel. My name is Mel and really glad that a few of you have already subscribed. Thank you so much for that. In this video, I will explain a little bit more about why I decided to start my GLP-1 journey. So I'll take you back to last summer. So last summer, around June, I think it was, probably May, I think, one of my older sisters suggested, so I have a few siblings, and one of my older sisters suggested that me and my other sister should run a 5K race together. And believe me, I'm not a runner, so I was like, oh, I don't think I want to do it. Mind you that I, at that time, weighed 141 kilos, which is about 311 pounds. Just trying to see if I got it correctly. Yes, 311 pounds, which is heavy, okay, heavy. But I'm also this person that I love to challenge myself. So I was like, well, let's just do it. Why not? We signed up to a race called Midnattsloppet, which is like a midnight run. And we did it in Stockholm. It was really fun, but also very tough. So basically we signed up and then we ran it in August. It was 5 kilometers. We were running in like the masquerade section. So we had like costumes and we're just, I mean, not really costumes, but we had like capes and we're supposed to be like the Powerpuff Girls or Powerpuff Pinglorna in Swedish. And yeah, so we did that. I was really slow. Literally my only goal. So like the thing about me is I might not be the fastest, I might not be the strongest, but I have this thing where I definitely do not want to be the last. That's like my motivation. Sometimes when I'm doing things, especially when it's like physically exhausting, my only goal was literally like, Melissa, whatever you do, just don't be the last one. Especially like as a big girl, I don't want to be like that fat girl who like came in last. Like, I mean, sometimes you have this way of talking to yourself, talking down to yourself, but like, I'm just like, I'm already big. I don't want to be the last one as well. So the point is, I tried my best to not be the last and I wasn't, and I ran all the way to the end, which I'm super proud of. But yeah, it was hard. It was really hard. Like I said, I weighed 141 kilos. It was heavy, but I managed. I never stopped, which I'm super proud of myself that I didn't, but I ran really slowly. Like when I say slowly, it took me 49 minutes to run 5 kilometers. Which is I guess wild for some, but that was the level that I was at then. And so this year I'm gonna attempt, of course, to run it again and under 40 minutes because I'm on a time limit because I'm not in the masquerade section. So wish me luck on that. That kind of kickstarted my health journey, I could say, a bit, because it helped me to get into running, because I started training 3 times a week, I think. First I started with 2 and then 3 times to start running. Super slow, but I tried. And then I was going to the gym. I've always loved Zumba, so I was going to the gym, dancing and whatnot, but I wasn't strength training or anything like that. And then come September, we finished running our race. I feel a bit better. And then I realized over the course of the first half of the year that my period was quite irregular, which normally it isn't that much. But also, when you're on contraception, who knows, right? Because off and on, I've been on it, and then my period has just been all over the place. Based on that, I decided to book an appointment with my gynecologist, and it was when I booked my time with her and I finally went in, that was towards the end of September, that she basically told me that, oh, your symptoms are quite explainable. You said you struggle with losing weight, you have hair growing in places where women don't want hair here, right? And you have cysts on your ovaries. And I was like, say what? She's like, cysts on your ovaries. I was like, okay, can you explain what does that mean? What happens? I just came here for you to tell me why my period is not coming when it's supposed to come. What do you mean by cysts? Like literally that was my reaction. And at the same time, mind you, that I had like only a few moments to catch the train to go to work. So probably not the best time, but she also was quite in a hurry. So she just told me that information. And then she said, you can talk to your general physician to get more information. And I was like, okay. I was really confused because mind you that this gynecologist was from a different clinic than the one where I normally would go for, to see my normal GP or like my doctor, my house doctor, because it's not the same clinic and they don't have gynecologists. I don't know if this is just a Swedish thing, but it's really hard to get an appointment with a gynecologist. So basically after that information, I went to work and then I sort of did not think about it for like a few days, I think. I'm trying to remember what happened because there was a lot happening at the same time. I'm gonna explain maybe a bit more in detail in a different video, but at the same time as this was happening, in the beginning of September, a friend and I started a no sugar challenge. She just asked me and I was like, girl, I'm gonna stick to it because again, I'm that kind of person. I don't wanna be the last and I don't wanna quit something. At least not before somebody else. Like I have this very weird, stubborn, like we say vinnarskalle in Swedish. It's like you're very competitive, but my competitiveness is like, I don't need to be first. I just don't want to be last, as I've explained already. So because of that kind of challenge that my friend and I did, so we actually were cutting out sugar between September to December. And I think already just doing that was really, really good. And that really was like sparked my wellness journey, I will say, which I will obviously get into more details, but that was really healthy and good for me to cut down the sugar. And when I say cut down the sugar, I'm not talking about not just eating candy. I'm talking about no added sugar in no nothing. And let me tell you guys, there's sugar in everything. Like our environment is literally designed to make us addicted and crave sugar. It's insane because there's so much amount of sugar in everything. Like I struggled to find, I don't know how it looks like in other countries, but in Sweden, I've struggled to find sugar that did not have a lot of bread. Now, I finally found some options that were like a little bit better after talking to some of my friends that I know, colleagues who have diabetes, who gave me some really good advice of what to eat when I'm trying to cut down on, just like fast carbs and sugar. So that really helped me. And then I realized kind of like early October, oh yeah, I got this PCOS diagnosis. So what does it mean? And I started doing research. And sometimes when I start doing research, I really get into a deep rabbit hole, and I really mean a deep rabbit hole because I started looking up everything with the help of ChatGPT, Gemini. I Googled, yes, I still Google sometimes. I looked up, YouTube videos. I don't have any other social media, by the way. So I'm not on Instagram, I'm not on TikTok, but I use YouTube because that's basically my favorite platform. And I got a lot of information. Unfortunately, not from Swedish medical providers because there literally is not a lot of information in Sweden. However, there is a Facebook group, or I think at least 2-3 Facebook groups in Sweden that are quite big with a lot of women who have experienced getting this PCOS diagnosis. So PCOS stands for polycystic ovary syndrome, or now the name has actually changed to polyendocrine metabolic ovarian syndrome. Yes, said it correctly. And that name change was just about a week ago. And I will go into more details about that some other time. But basically, if you have ever received a PCOS diagnosis or know somebody who has it, then you will know that it's so hard, especially if you're also overweight and have it. It's so hard to lose weight. Now I understand that it's because of the insulin resistance for many of us, but it's literally like your body is fighting you every single day. Right. And also it's just, the irregular period. Sometimes you can have just issues with your mood. And again, for me, I do have a bit more testosterone. That's a kind of one of my side effects. So I do have hair growth on my, like neck part, which I don't appreciate, obviously, but it is what it is. And so what I will say is, throughout that season when I started running, that was really good because it kind of helped me to get into more of a like fitness routine. I cut out sugar, and then I started learning about PCOS and what it means when you're a bit more insulin resistant. And I started actually eating more like I'm a diabetic, even though I wasn't. I didn't have diabetes. I checked it up, or I went to my doctor. They didn't put me in the pre-diabetes category either because they checked my long-time blood sugar levels and my current blood sugar levels, and nothing was really showing in my scans as having diabetes or being pre-diabetic. However, I do know that we have diabetes in the family, on both sides of my family. So for that reason, I was like, okay, I need to make changes right now because if I can prevent getting into that place where I would get it, not to say that you can't live with it, of course you can, but already I'm overweight, and already being an overweight or obese person, really, diseases that come with it, or that can come with it, I should say. So for that reason, like, it was kind of like a wake-up call for me to really make serious changes in my life. So on top of the no sugar challenge, that I did with my friend, I decided to actually clear. When I say I decided to clear, I told my husband, we're gonna clear out everything, and literally threw away pretty much all the food that we had in our pantry and in our fridge and freezer. which is insane. I know probably you shouldn't go like 0 to 100 on one day, but sometimes I can be that kind of person. So I literally threw out everything and I decided from now on we're only eating whole grains. And so since about October last year till now, like we've completely changed our diet. We only eat or mostly eat whole grains. Of course, sometimes we still have like white rice and stuff, but mostly our diet consists of whole grains and lots of like fruits, vegetables, a lot of protein, because that's one thing I learned quickly, that with PCOS it's really important to eat a lot of protein because that makes you feel fuller longer and can also reduce cravings, especially if you have enough protein early in the morning. So when I say enough, what I've learned from my research is to at least eat 30 grams of protein per day, or like per meal, I mean. So that has really helped me. And already from the summer period to, I have my notes here. So from the summer period, yes, to December, I managed to lose. Now, this might not sound a lot again, but for somebody like me who has struggled to lose weight for a really, really long time, and especially for somebody that now understood that I also have this metabolic dysfunction, to be honest, because that's what dysfunction sounds extreme, but like this metabolic, my body wasn't simply working the way it was supposed to. So that's when I figured that, you know what, I need some extra help. But before then, I did manage to lose some weight because I did go from 141 kilos to 138. Right? Yeah. So about from 311 pounds to 304 pounds in the span of 4 months, right? Or was it? Yeah, September, October, November, December. Yeah, exactly 4 months. So that's what happened. And then in December, or already in November and October, I had a conversation with my GP. Again, they were never gonna help me with my PCOS issues, especially not if I wasn't trying to have a baby, which I've realized that that's kind of when women get help with sort of like egg stimulation. I hope that's the word in English. Yeah, like ovulation stimulation and other interventions. But because I wasn't in a place where I wanted to try for a child, especially specifically then, because what I realized after getting my diagnosis is, you know what, I need to focus on changing my habits. I need to focus on making lifestyle changes because I need to get healthier. And I need to get healthier for myself first. And then, you know, if children will come, you know, what a blessing from God. But right now my focus is on getting my health together and specifically like trying to lose a bit of weight, because I do know that that can also help regulate a little bit what's going on with my body, specifically in terms of my PCOS or PMOS, because the name has changed now. So I'm still gonna get used to it. But again, in my case, I do happen to have those cysts, which are not actually cysts, which I'll get into in a different video. But right now, I just kind of want to explain what led up to me basically starting a GLP-1. And that's kind of it, like that I saw already like some slight changes, a slight change in my weight with changing to whole foods and eating more protein, and of course trying to get more sleep or better sleep. Like these are really, really vital things. I also did start to strength train. I think it was October-ish. I can't remember exactly, but I did somewhere there, definitely before Christmas, I decided, okay, let me start strength training a bit. Like I wasn't doing something extra, and I think I was a little bit all over the place in my strength training, but I at least started. And then I finally made the decision that, you know what, I'm gonna go on a GLP-1 after a lot of research. And again, I will have a separate video talking just specifically about like how my first month on the GLP-1 was like, and the side effects and those things that I know people are normally interested in knowing, like how was it like and what did you experience. It's not cheap. I'll tell you that, it's not cheap. And for that reason, I was like, listen, if I'm gonna do this and pay the amount that I have to pay for this drug every single month, best believe it, I'm gonna put in the hard work of really trying to adjust my diet, which I already had started doing, but to continue doing that, making sure that I, you know, have a routine when it comes to when I eat and what I eat, but also trying to improve on my sleep. My sleep was really bad. And to be honest, sometimes I still struggle. I don't always sleep on time, but now that I'm strength training 3 times in a week, I do get tired because just naturally my body needs to recover from, you know, the strength training sessions and just all the other stuff that I'm doing when it comes to movement. I dance once a week as well. So these are just some of the things that then led me to, or this specifically with the diagnosis led me to just like, okay, I now understand that metabolically, my body is literally fighting me. I need external help, which is why I then decided to take the GLP-1 or to start that journey. And yes, and I've been on Mounjaro since like mid-December 2025. And like right now, my current weight is around 123 kilos, which is about let me see, 271, 272 pounds ish. There are fluctuations obviously throughout the week, but I have one official weighing day per week, which is normally Tuesdays. That's when I weigh myself, and then I note down what my changes on the scale. But then I obviously take other measurements as well in terms of my, like all over my body, just to see what is happening. Because I also understand that when you lose weight, and especially for me, I'm trying to also build muscle at the same time and kind of do this whole body recomposition thing, which is very interesting. And I can tell there are changes in my body and on my body, and other people are also telling me. So it's quite exciting when you finally see that, you know, the hard work that you're putting in the gym is actually paying off. And I think that's like the best thing, because like when you're losing weight, whether it's with medical assistance or naturally, you want to make sure that you're also strength training so that you don't lose your muscle. But also the muscle is so important for just everything literally. And that's why also the protein, very important to eat enough protein so that you can build and maintain muscle, specifically when you're on a GLP-1, because I'm sure some of you have already heard probably that people are losing muscle on GLP-1s, and it's not that real like just shrinking and losing everything, but you have to be very, very cautious and intentional about strength training. And that's what I've been trying to do. And I think I will probably end here because now it's kind of like leading up to everything a bit up until why or how I started. And then I think in the next video I'll talk more about how the first few months were, and then I'll be giving you more like weekly updates on how it's going and share more about the strength training that I'm doing. As I said, I'm not a pro, but I have been strength training now since at least October-ish. I got more serious in December, and then in January I actually decided to get a trainer to help me, and I've been working with my trainer for 5 months now. 5 months. Yeah, exactly. We're in May. 5 months now, and it's exciting. Nowadays I only meet her once a week, and then the other 2 times in the week I go by myself, because I'm very keen on learning like proper techniques so I don't hurt myself or injure myself, and also to make sure that I actually know what I'm doing. And yeah, she's been amazing. I love my trainer. So shout out to her, shout out to you, Jay. And yeah, that's it for now. Please subscribe, follow for more updates. And if there's anything specifically that you want to know or learn more about, you can just write it in the comments, and I'll be sure to update in another video. Thank you.